Yeah, you know that, didn't you, Liam? Didn't know that was coming, did you? Let's do it again. Boom.
That's brilliant.
Good evening, everyone. It's Carl and Liam back with Fourth and Inches. We're back into some predictions today. Obviously, we did our week 2 predictions. Last week, we're doing week 3 predictions. This week, we'll do a little bit of a recap on last week's. And also, just want to thank everyone that tuned in for the RJ Stern interview. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it. Not just for us, but I think you'll really enjoy it because just Liam will echo it. He's an incredible guy. And really, really fun. So he's promised to come back on as well when he can share his good news, which will be fantastic. But yeah, I just urge you to go back and watch it. For those of you that didn't have shared it, again, thank you very much. It's really helped. It's already well over 1,000 views, which is fantastic. So yes, Liam, how are we, mate? How are
good,
we?
Mate. Very good, very good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Like it's quite strange, but. Yeah. I was just going to say, let me finish. Please, let me finish. It's winter, which I actually really like winter. I prefer winter to the summer, which is probably weird, but I do. So, yeah, I'm in a good mood, which is why I got my coat on, my winter coat.
You're chatting pure BS.
Why?
Because you know why. You're hiding something that the rest of the world doesn't know about. You don't want them to know about. A particular wager, shall we say, between yourself and a friend in common, shall we say?
I think she's probably a bit more. Yeah, I was going to say she's a bit more of a friend, than to you.
What was it? Week 1, you being a diehard Bucks fan, adamant that you were going to do over her New Orleans Saints, made a bet on it where if the Bucks won, you just get to give her some grief. That's it. Something nice and simple. However, the other way around was if the Saints win, you have to do an episode of our podcast in a Saints jersey and an official apology to her.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about the apology.
I haven't. I have not.
But I've known him longer than he's known his missus. He should be backing me. This is true.
Without further ado.
Yeah, go on, do it. It's fine.
Take off that coat and let the world see you in another team's colours.
Oh, this hurts. This hurts so bad. And it's Michael Thomas as well. Like, I can't moan too much about that because he's a great receiver. Can you see the name?
Yeah, you go. We got it.
I am going to keep this on for the... Do you know what? I really hate to say this as well. It's a pretty sick jersey.
You put it off alright, to be fair to you.
I think it's because it's black, isn't it? But what this actually proves is my absolute arrogance that I would even accept a bet like this. So, yeah, in the future.
Props go out to you, mate, for following through there.
Right.
Now that you're
do I do that now or at the end?
Yes. I hope to God she's watching. She's just got to work, but either way, she said she's going to watch it, even if it's live or watch it back. She wants to hear her name mentioned live.
Right. Rebecca, I wholeheartedly apologise for my absolute arrogance towards you with regards to thinking that my team is better than your team and that we were going to beat you. And I did think it was going to be in spectacular fashion. Obviously, it wasn't. We got our asses handed to us. However, Kamara did get slapped by Devin White. That being said, I do apologise. It probably won't happen again, but I can't guarantee it. So we might do this again at some point in the season. But yes, someone's dropped a comment, actually. That's it. There she is. Beck's commented, strip, yes, nice jersey. There you go, Beck. I'm sorry, I've done it. Right, yes. Should we do a quick recap on the week 2 predictions?
If you can remember them. I think I've got mine in front of me. Yeah, I've got a couple of them here. Mine are...
I can get them up, to be fair.
Bit of a mixed bag, mine were from last week.
Well, let's talk about one, not just because we beat you, because it's not about that, to be fair. We did have a chat about it. The one, you actually really unbelievably close on it, and it was probably a bit crap that they didn't kick a field goal, which was obviously the Bucks-Panthers game. We all agreed that we expected the Bucks to win.
Yep.
And in the first half, it looked like it was going to be really, really comfortable. Second half was a different story, to be fair. Panthers decided to wake up and get themselves into the game, and probably had a couple of opportunities where it looked like they were going to tie the game, and then it was squeaky bum time for us. But then Fournette breaks out with a 40-yard run, I think it was, or 30 or 40-yard run for a touchdown, and that was kind of game over, wasn't it, mate? But you predicted that score to be 31-20.
Yep.
And what did it finish?
31-17.
With you being in prime position for a field goal to make it 31-20 as well.
Yep. But I don't think it was ever likely to happen at the end. I think it goes back to when, just before you scored your last touchdown to make it 31, we had the ball and we we kicked a field goal on the fourth down as opposed to going for it, I believe, when we could have. It was only a short fourth down, so we could have gone for it, kept the drive alive, gone for the touchdown, and then gone for the field goal further on to, of course, tie the game. The onside kick, and the result of that was baffling. I don't really understand why they went for an onside kick, because there was still plenty of time left. We had enough timeouts left, and they decided to go for an onside kick. Gave you great field position, and then of course Fournette breaks away for 40-odd yards to seal the game. So
yeah,
we were kind of the we were our own downfall.
You definitely were, because we had that against the Saints, didn't we? To be fair, I mean, the Saints game with the Bucks, we did pretty much exactly what you did against us in giving away needless penalties that cost you in scoring chances as well. However, you sent some really good stats over to me from I think it was 3 of your players, to be fair, in terms of the yardage that they went for, and obviously it didn't really justify the scoreline if you look at it that way. I think you said yourself, how have we not,
200-yard, it was 200-yard receivers, and our backup running back Mike Davis, he was just under 100 yards for receiving as well. Obviously, he had to step in for the injured Christian McCaffrey, of course, but which is unfortunate. But still, when you look at things on that perspective, then it appears like we've had a good game. But it was the turnovers in the first half, the interceptions and the fumble from Teddy that ultimately completely gave us a massive hill to climb in the second half. If we take away at least take away 2 of those turnovers, then we're with a shout. Even the fumble. If the fumble doesn't happen, you don't score off of it, and potentially we can go to the half at least with one less score to come back from. But turnovers cost games, don't they? So
yeah, absolutely. So that one went as we all expected, but again, I don't think the scoreline really justifies, especially the second half. It doesn't tell the full story in terms of what happened in the second half. Another one I wanted to talk to you about, mate, is Seahawks Patriots. And the reason I want to talk to you about that is obviously because you're a huge Cam Newton fan. However, you did have the Seahawks to beat the Patriots. It was probably closer than what we expected. I think it was closer than what we all expected.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I mean, I went 16-20, which I guess that's relatively close, but I didn't.
You didn't expect it to be as high scoring.
That's right. Yeah. Nick kind of went the opposite way. He expected to be relatively high scoring, certainly in the Seahawks' favour anyway. I can't remember what yourself or Beaver went for, but I think we both went for relatively low scores as well, from what I can remember.
It was I went 28-21, so I didn't expect.
But I know we kind of covered it when we were speaking with RJ the other day, and I think this is after we'd gone off air, and it was that final drive from Cam. Right, he thinks it was the right play called, but he bounces off to the left and he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah,
simple as that. And I am very happy so far with the way he's performed. I know it's in the Patriots, and everyone knows I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I'm so happy for Cam right now. He's bowling.
He is, mate. He is, and I think, like I said to you, I was never like. That's a lot, actually. I just didn't admit I was a fan of Cam. I've always been a fan of Cam.
You like his fashion sense more than his playing ability, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And but those kinds of things have drawn me to watch him more. And obviously, I've always had to watch him because we play in the same division at the end of the day. Yeah. But I always, because of the way he dressed and the way he played, it's that age-old thing. You don't really know anyone. You judge a book by the cover. Mm-hmm. And always thought he was a lot more arrogant than he actually is. Like, he's not arrogant in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? And I think he come across really, really well on All or Nothing, the Panthers series. So I've been, I hate admitting it. I can admit it now. He's not a Panthers player. So like, I do actually. I'm a big fan of his, and I'm happy that he's doing well as well. And I think we did both agree as well. Probably to your surprise more than mine, that I think he could. There's no reason why he couldn't go out and get MVP. I think he could be that comeback story and have an unbelievably good season. What do you think? Yeah,
I think he's more likely to get, as it stands, I think he's more likely to get comeback player of the year as opposed to MVP. I mean, obviously there's nothing to stop him from getting MVP, but I do think there are other players out there who will have a bigger impact to their team, whether it's Mahomes or Lamar or hopefully Russell Wilson, for God's sake. It's got to be. So that's why I think he's in with a very strong shout, certainly based on the first 2 weeks of the season. He's in for a very strong shout to be comeback player of the year, and he'll deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Nick, I think you might be watching. If if you are, we're talking good things about Russ again. It's getting a little bit sickening, but we are. That being said, let's move on to this week's predictions. By the way, if you didn't catch the RJ Stern interview, make sure you watch it. But yes, this week's
links below.
Yes, do that.
On that corner to Twitter.
Yes, that is correct. Week three. We're going to start with, obviously, you'll see that Liam and Beaver aren't with us today.
Liam's here, mate.
Liam's here. Nick and Beaver aren't with us today.
Wow.
Yes, they can't make it tonight, which is absolutely fine. However, they have sent in their predictions. I think we'll start with... Should we start with Beaver's predictions?
Yeah.
Keep it the same sort of structure as last week. So the 4 games that we've chosen are the Packers v the Saints, the Cowgirls versus Seahawks. Apologies for any Cowgirls fans that watch this, but we call them the Cowgirls. The Chiefs against the Ravens. Yeah, we ain't fucking changing. Chiefs versus the Ravens, and the Titans versus the Vikings. We're going to start with the Packers against the Saints, and Beeves has gone for a whopping 35 to the Packers and 17 to the Saints. We'll discuss them when we come around to our own predictions. For the next one, Dallas against Seahawks, he's gone Dallas 21-35 to the Seahawks. Again, predicting Russell Wilson's going to have a great game. Chiefs 20, Ravens 17. I was surprised by this one. It was quite low score, and I think it will be close, but I personally think there'll be more points involved. I'm sure Liam does as well. Titans 28, Vikings 31. Again, this one surprises me, but I'll get into why that is when I come around to my own predictions. And then we'll move on to Nick's as well, and then we'll do mine and yours, mate, and we'll discuss those. So, Nick, another high-scoring one, but he's gone the opposite way. Packers 23 and 37 to the Saints. He thinks Drew Brees is going to come out on top over Aaron Rodgers. This one, Cowboys 17, 32 Seahawks. Obviously, he's backing Russ, DK, Tyler, and Chris Carson all day long against Dak and Zeke. Chiefs 30, Ravens 28. Again, close, more points, which is about where I think it will be. And Titans 28, Vikings 24. So, I think in terms of structure, in terms of where we've gone on, which teams are going to win, I think we're all pretty much the same. But we'll jump on to yours now, mate. Yeah. You, Green Bay against New Orleans, you are going for 30-20. Tell me why, bro.
Yeah, I'm going for a Green Bay win. But it is, for me, it is whether Thomas is back for the Saints or not. As it stands, I don't think he's due to be. If he's not, I can't see anything but a Green Bay win. Reason being is because of, as much as you're going to hate to hear it, it's Aaron Rodgers. Since the start of the season and throughout the preseason and the off season and before that, he's kind of, I get the impression he's come out with kind of with the bit between his teeth. Really, those talks of him being dropped or replaced and all that. I feel like he's come out with a massive, either a point to prove or whatever he's been doing. It's like, to me, it's saying this is my spot and you're not taking it. And he's doing everything he can to lock down that position. And he's been awesome the first 2 weeks. And if he continues in that vein, then that's going to be a dangerous Green Bay team moving forwards. I mean, I know Davante Adams is due to be out, but as we saw last week when he was out, Aaron Rodgers was able to find all his other receivers, whether it's Lazard, Valdez-Scantling, and so on and so forth. Still got Aaron Jones. So I can't see anything but a Packers win. Unless, like I said, Michael Thomas is back, then it could be a lot closer. And that's not like me to go against New Orleans in the Superdome.
No, I completely understand where you're coming from. I just think, because mine's not too much different, to be fair, I just think that the Saints are going to come out on top still. Yes, they're missing Michael Thomas, but they're still absolutely stacked. And yes, Aaron Rodgers has been fantastic, and the attitude he's come out with is the complete opposite to what I think a lot of people thought he was going to come out with, to be fair. Even if you do like him, I think some people thought he was going to throw his dummy out the pram, but he hasn't at all. He's been really, really professional, to be fair, once the season started, and he is getting the job done. I just think Kamara is going to be hard to stop. And I think they're going to utilise that run game so much. And I just think that they will come out on top personally. However, that being said, if it does go the other way from everything that you've said, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I just think the Saints are going to be quite hard to stop this year. I really do.
What day is it on? It's on a Monday. Oh, okay. I was going to say, if it was on, if it was a Sunday, although technically it is Sunday night, yeah, so they have got a short week because bearing in mind they played Monday night against the Raiders and obviously lost. So it is a relatively short week for them. They've had less time to prepare for this game than what Green Bay have had. So I don't know. I'm still sticking with the Packers on this occasion. If there were fans in the stadium, I'd probably go New Orleans just about. But with there being no fans, I'm sticking with the Packers.
That's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. We'll move on to the next one. Dallas, Seattle, your scoreline. I'll just get my scoreline up as well. And I'll switch between the two. So you've gone 24-38. Yep. I've gone Dallas to get 30 points and Seahawks still to win that game. But yeah, where you at?
Yeah, I think Seattle, with the way Russ is playing at the moment, they'll win this. I don't think it will be as straightforward as people think, because whilst we all have our opinion on the Cowgirls, they have, in my opinion, quietly been going about their business. Yes, they lost week 1, but I don't think they looked too bad. Let's be honest. That miraculous comeback last week against the Falcons was
ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. I was struggling to find the right adjective to describe it, but
it's almost as though the Falcons took a dive. That's what it was like. That's what I thought.
but Dak had a great game that day. He seems to be connecting with all of his wide receivers, not just Cooper, but CeeDee Lamb and so on and so forth. Still waiting for Elliott to break out because I don't think he's really broke out yet. And that's, if I'm saying that they've had a good start to the season and Zeke still hasn't started, then to me that's a sign of better things to come. But I can't look past Seattle. They've been phenomenal. They really have. Russ Wilson, as it stands, he is MVP.
No, I agree. And like you say, you've not only got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are always good for touchdowns. DK Metcalf is incredible on as a deep threat as well. Mm-hmm. But then you've got Chris Carson, who's an absolute baller.
David Moore even popped up on the weekend as well.
Yeah, and I just
deep touchdown.
I don't disagree with you at all. I just think the only reason I think Dallas are going to score so many is because they're going to come out on a massive high. From what they've done against Atlanta. Because to be fair, Atlanta have been all right over the first 2 weeks, a lot better than what I expected them to be.
Yeah, same.
And again, I think we were all bashing Dak Prescott pre-season. All of us were bashing the Cowboys. And again, just like we've got it wrong with Aaron Rodgers' attitude so far, we've got it massively wrong with the Cowboys so far as well, which is fine. So I just think I think it'll be closer than what some people think, as you said as well. I don't think it's going to be easy for the Seahawks at all. And I think with the amount of points that Dallas were able to put on the Falcons, I think they're going to be able to put points on the board this week as well. Because I'm with you. I think this might be the week that Zeke might break out as well. And if he does with what Dak's already done with CeeDee Lamb and Coop, then there's no reason why they can't put 30 on the board. But I think Russell still outscore them. So, we're all in agreement on that one. Moving over to one of your favourite QBs, we'll go to Kansas, Baltimore. And then for me on that scoreline, I've gone very similar. I just think Baltimore put the extra 4 on. That's it.
I think it'll be a very close game. I mean, you got to go back to last year's game. What was it? Week 3, when Kansas went in. I think they went to Baltimore. Was it there around? I can't remember which. But I think it finished 33-30, I believe, to the Chiefs, and that was with fans. And I think the Ravens have improved on defense even more than what they did this year. So I think Kansas will struggle to win the run game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a lot of pressure on his shoulders to succeed in the run game, but he is a catching back, so that might work in his favour. But with that Baltimore defense, I do think they will restrict them somewhat, because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to be all over the place, throwing spectacular throws every time he has the ball. But I think they're going to edge it. Baltimore, that is, I think they're just going to edge it, partly because of home field advantage on this occasion. I know there's no fans there, but it's their comfort zone. I think they'll have just about enough about them, certainly on the ground. Kansas's secondary isn't that great. It's improved from last year and the year before that, but I do think there's a lot of areas for Baltimore to exploit with with play action and all that kind of thing if they decide to make it a throwing game. So I've got them just edging. It will be a very close game. I think it's a Monday night game. If not, it's a Sunday night game. I can't quite remember the time, but it's probably the game of the week for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've got nothing else to add to that other than I'm with you. I think Baltimore have more. They've got more game plans to revert to if one thing isn't working, for example, and having that extra out with Lamar Jackson's running game as well from him personally. Obviously, it offers massively. So I'm with you on that 100%, mate. Got nothing to dispute on that.
Pat will keep him in the game, won't he?
Yeah, 100%. But you've got Lamar Jackson who's improving in his passing game as well. Because we always thought he was good throw over the ball anyway. It was
I
only
thought
Beef
so.
that didn't, to be fair.
I am a bit gutted that those two aren't on tonight because they've both gone for a Kansas win, and would have been nice to have heard why they think a Kansas win. Whether it's similar to us, where it's going to be that close, it'll just simply swing the other way around. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Ring the Beaver right now. You can ring it, mate. Like, it's fine. You see if he'll answer. Beaver, talk us through it. Why? Let's get him on.
Where is he? There he is.
Like that. I'm just gonna throw this on for a second again because it's cool. No answer. What about Nick? Let's try Nick. He's got to have got Tobes to bed by now. You still there? Can't hear me. What? Can you hear me now? No. Talk. Oh, I can hear him. What the fuck? Technical difficulties. Can you hear me now?
It's a good job I can lip read.
Right. You go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. Yeah. Yeah, so Liam's just it might be me, I'm not sure, we'll find out shortly. You know, these things happen when we're live. Just add him back in now. Can you hear me?
I can.
I don't know what happened there, mate. Apologies to everyone that's watching as well. Beaver, if you're watching, answer the phone. Yeah, what I was going to say is ring Nick, but I know he's putting the little into bed, so that's fine. Yeah, so it'll just be. I'm interested to get Nick's opinion because I think I could almost probably think of what Beaves would be, and one, he doesn't like Lamar.
It's true that
throw the ball, so he'll probably think that if it's a throwing game per se, then he's just going to get outthrown by Mahomes, which isn't necessarily true.
We've all gone quite close though. Like Nick, 30 to 28. We're all pretty much within a score.
Yeah,
all of us are.
I can't see it being. I can't see either of those teams blowing the other one out. And if they do, then you've got to seriously watch them for the rest of the season. The
only one is the Beaver went for a low score, which is quite surprising. The rest, me and Nick have all gone for quite high score lines, which I can definitely see happening. That's another reason why I'm intrigued to see Beaver's reasoning behind why a Chiefs win and why the scoreline he's gone for. So
yeah. No, absolutely. Maybe we'll get him to do a video tomorrow or something if he's got a chance to actually see why he thinks that will be the case. Moving on to our next game of the week for ourselves, we are looking at the Titans against the Vikings. The Vikings have been terrible.
Wow, pipe, absolute trash.
It's like I think. I'm not just saying they arguably have been one of the worst teams in the league at the moment.
Oh, without doubt. And I know the Beaver, for some reason, is the only person I've ever heard say Kirk Cousins is good. I don't understand why, because they've lost a couple of people, but let's be honest, their team is good. Their team is very good. They should not be starting the way they've started. The saving grace for them is that it's only week 2. They have plenty of time to rectify this and make a run for the playoffs. But they're coming up against the Titans team, who, by contrast, have started absolutely brilliantly. And we all thought that a lot of people anyway thought that Tennessee were a very run first, run heavy offense.
Yeah.
But Tannehill so far has been throwing it around, He's getting good rapport, especially with his tight end, Jonnu Smith. He's getting rapport with his wide receivers. Henry is still going off, but not as much as I thought he would. A little similar to Zeke. I don't think he's quite got out the traps so far. But again, it's if their best player still hasn't started and they're still winning, then wow, they're going to be good as the season goes on. And with how bad the Vikings have been, I can't see anything but a Titans demolition.
Yeah, I mean, like Charles just said there, because she is a Vikings fan, and she's always, you'll know, I'll tell you about it so much because she gets so frustrated by him. She's learned so much about the sport, like over the last couple of years, at least over the last year, and everything she was saying about Kirk Cousins, like just the fact that he holds on to the ball too long, and that people were blaming the O-line. I was like, I'm not sure he does hold on to the ball too long. And then the more I watch, I'm like, yeah, he holds on to the ball too long, and he can't think. She was always like, he can't think on his feet. And I was like, And then I watch, I'm like, he can't think on his feet. Like he's been so bad over the last 8-9 games. Like he's been terrible. He's been really, really bad.
I think he gets masked by the playoff wins he's had.
Yeah,
because he's had big wins in the playoffs. Fair enough, that's when you want to turn up and be good. But when you're only making the first round of playoffs and then going out and then the next, then are you really achieving much? Not really.
No, at all.
But no, he's not that good. And I mean, if it wasn't for him taking or reworking, that mammoth contract he took a few years ago, then I would be slating him even more. But because he reworked his contract this off season to enable them to bring in other players and that kind of thing, because their cap space was pretty much zero. So he was, I think he's took a bit of a pay cut doing it as well. So, kudos for him for that. But in terms of his actual play, not good. Not good.
He's not utilising Dalvin Cook enough. He's not utilising Kyle Rudolph enough. He's not definitely not utilising Adam Thielen enough.
No.
Who arguably was your number one wide receiver when you had Stephon Diggs there. Now he's definitely your number one wide receiver, and you're still not utilising him. Like, I don't know what it is. I have to watch more, but I'm more open to listening what the missus says about him, and the more she does say, the more I look, and I'm like, you're right. To be fair, you are right. So I'm interested to see what it is that Beeves and maybe others, Vikings fans, if you think I'm wrong or we're wrong, let us know why. What is it about him that everyone's hyping about? Because I'm yet to see it, especially in a Vikings jersey.
Like I say, I think they will come good as the season goes on, but the longer this run goes on for, the more I find it difficult to see it happening. But I give it, if they get a win this weekend, that'll be a big upset in my eyes. Yes, they're at home, but I still think it'll be an upset for them to win at home.
No, I agree. Especially after the last couple of weeks, yeah. You expect the Titans to win. I expect them to put an absolute ass whooping on them. I'll probably being kind to the Vikings there, thinking that they'll get 21 points, because they were bad. They were really bad on Sunday, really bad. So I expect the Titans to actually go all out on them, to be fair, and that's my prediction. And you've obviously gone 23-10, which, again, you're not expecting them to put anything on the board pretty much. So
not really, no. I mean, the only reason why I've gone for only gone for 23 for the Titans is because I can see them getting out a bit of a lead and then just sitting on the run game.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And
just controlling the clock.
Pretty much, yeah. And then the Vikings defense, I still do think is relatively good. And for that reason is to why I have limited the Titans to 23 points.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And I would usually agree with you on that because they are. But I think the problem is going to be is that they spent so much time on the field on Sunday. And I think it's going to be the same. That at some point there is going to be some give. I might be wrong, and like you said, it might be an upset. And I think it would be an upset as well if the Vikings ended up coming out with a win on this one. So, yeah, really looking forward to watching those 4 games. Liam, thank you very much for joining me, sir.
No problem.
Beck, again, apologies. Those are our week 3 predictions. If you agree, great. If not, let us know why in the comments. Put your predictions in the comments as well. Everyone who's watching, you can like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. That'd be fantastic. We will see you.
Also, before we go,
okay.
if any of you wants to make a bet with Carl, put it in the comments and a forfeit, and we will do it. Carl's good for a bet, good for a wager, and he's good for a forfeit, as you can see.
It usually come out on the wrong side of it, as you can see. Yeah, so
I am good. What it is, I may join in as well.
That's good. Why not? We are looking at doing a giveaway soon. It depends who we get on the channel next. We're talking to a few people from Last Chance U. We're also trying to get in touch with a few professional NFL players at the moment. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. But yeah, maybe some coaches as well. Don't know. Not Jason Brown though. If you watch this, I'm joking. I'd love to have him on. Really, if you would reply to my messages, that would be fantastic. Instead of just liking them and then airing me. Thanks. See you in the next one, guys. Big Carl and Liam from Fourth and Inches. Peace.